Here we go. This is our 39th episode, Omar.
I can't believe it. 39 episodes young. Incredible.
But speaking of the person I'm talking to, Omar, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce this person. He is the guy that filmed the fake lunar landing, Omar Najam.
That's right.
My co-host. Yeah.
That's right. We had a good time. I filmed it with Channing Tatum and gosh, who else is in that movie? I'm trying to remember.
Does it matter? Channing's so beautiful.
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum and Channing Tatum.
Yeah, two
He's
Channing
just
Tatums.
so pretty. That's all you can ever see.
The other voice you hear is a young gentleman who we're very lucky to have him because he spent all day today going out looking for f-stops. That's right. It's Sandeep.
Yeah, I was on the bus. Is this the f-stop?
Is this the f-stop? Has anyone pulled that prank on you when you were on set? Did anyone ever go grab us a bag of f-stops?
No, no.
God, it's
What's
funny.
that prank? How does that go?
You shouldn't do it, but you tell someone, hey, go grab a bag of f-stops. And then they go, okay, I'll go look for that. And then you go, and they go to camera department. They go, can I get a bag of f-stops? And camera department goes, that's the aperture rating, you amateur. There's no physical f-stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So it's a call out, like it's to make a PA uncomfortable.
Exactly. It's a mean thing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
great.
bucket of steam was the Navy equivalent one. I need to go get me a bucket of steam.
Oh.
That's really good.
Amazing. Well, hey, everyone, crack open a can of steam and join us for our show, ABCD, American-Born Chatty Desis. This show is a podcast within a live stream within our two lives as two American-Born Desis. It's a pod duckin'.
Yep.
This is for anyone out there who, like us, you're just navigating your cultural identities and just want to chat it out.
Hey, what's on tap for today, you ask? Let me tell you, we've got What's Got Us Confused. We'll talk about some fun stuff from the news. Then we're going to do a little bit of Chakra Check-in with each other about movies, cinema, our experience in filmmaking, bags of f-stop that we had to go get. Then we'll do a quick little Auntie versus Auntie Watch 2024 update, just a quick little brief one. And then we'll hop into our game, which, should I reveal the game title right now?
Why not? Sounds exciting.
The game title is A Doctor Strangelove Quiz Odyssey, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Kubrick Trivia.
Nice.
And then we'll hop into our Desi of the Week, and that'll wrap us out.
That's right. First off, though, we got to shout out our sponsors.
Let's do that.
Our first, of course, is DesiQuest. That's right. It's the Dungeons & Dragons 5e campaign that stars me and Omar, as well as Rekha Shankar, Anjali Bhimani, and a collection of amazing guests. It's all set in an original South Asian mythological inspired world from the brilliant mind of Jasmine, that bronze girl, Buller, and that girl, that birthday girl. She just had a birthday.
Belated
So
birthday girl.
if you do run into Jasmine on the streams anywhere, wish her about happy birthday for us. All the episodes of this show, DesiQuest, are out right now. If you become a citizen of the DesiQuest world by signing up at patreon.com/DesiQuest, you can watch the whole thing ad-free. That's exciting. As well as the after show podcast that you and I did, and streams with our character artist, Voodoo Val, and so much more. So we're interrupting whatever you're doing right now to tell you some very exciting news. You can join us at the DesiQuest Experience panel down at San Diego Comic-Con. Maybe you've heard of that, the biggest Comic-Con in the world. And that's going to be Thursday, July 25th at 4 p.m. So please, and that's the Omni San Diego Hotel and the Omni Grand Ballroom, the fourth floor.
We have a panel with the folks from DesiQuest, moderated by one incredible human being, Abriya Iyengar. You do not want to miss this panel, so come check it out. Again, that's July 25th at 4 p.m. at SDCC Omni Hotel, level 4.
Just need a badge. Just need a badge for that one.
Just need a badge. Just need a badge.
And of course, we're all going to be there. Anjali, Rekha, Omar, and Michael Shabak, our director, is going to be on the panel. So we are missing Jasmine, sadly. Love Jasmine, but we're going to be doing our best to showcase how awesome the world that she created was. So
yes.
Join us down there.
And then a bunch of Indians are heading over to Indiana for GenCon, where we are going to be playing a live game. Is that correct, Sandeep? A live game?
That is correct. So
Not
stoked for
pre-recorded?
this. We've done it before. We did it at PAX Unplugged last year. It was so fun. So we're bringing it back again. So you can see DesiQuest live, and this will be with the full crew. Jasmine's going to be DMing captivating storylines crafted specifically for GenCon 2024. Okay, encounters, challenging puzzles, teamwork, heroism, chai, Desi's arguing about nothing, all the things that we love to do. It's going to happen at GenCon. So for that one, you need a badge. You also need a ticket. There is plenty of, or I don't even know if plenty anymore, actually, because since it's been announced, tickets have been popping. So please jump over to there's general admission seats. We'd love to see you out there for this performance. It's going to be a good time.
Heck yes. We'll see you at SCCC. We'll see you at GenCon. Can I talk about our second sponsor, Sandeep? Please. I would love that. Second sponsor is none other than the folks who support us on Patreon. Ain't that right?
Mm-hmm.
And is there an update here? Right. Is this correct? Can I read this out loud? Is that all right? You've just kickstarted the EffinFunny Movie Club to aid in your research of movie making as you embark on your mission to get this, folks, make a movie this year. A movie directed by Sandeep Parikh, and it's written by our very good friend and brilliant mind, Rekha Shankar. It is going to be so great. I actually got a little sneak preview, so I highly recommend it. And going through that journey is going to be so great. So head over to patreon.com/EffinFunny. Let me spell that out for you. That's EffinFunny to join the movie club and get an inside look at Sandeep's directing process and his journey. There's also a ton of tiers for your contribution with a handful of subscriber benefits, including your name listed in the credits of this very show. Yes. So support a couple Desis in the creative arts, help us keep the ABC lights on, learn some stuff about movie making and film theory. Head over to patreon.com/EffinFunny.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, it's very exciting. Omar, you were at our table read of the script. The script's gotten even better. I'm so excited. We did a whole another sort of draft of it, a little bit of a facelift, some tightening. It's actually my favorite part of the process, and we can get into that maybe a little bit later in our film discussion, but it's very exciting. I'm manifesting this movie, and I'm so thankful to all the folks that are in Patreon that jump in on my movie club. We just watched Palm Springs on Friday, which is a lovely movie. Great film, and it has some similarities, or there's some things that I wanted to draw off of that movie. It's the Andy Samberg flick. Fantastic film. So every other Friday we do a watch of a film that's something that I will note and draw inspiration from. So you can join us for that as well. Exciting stuff.
Yes.
Shall we get into our first story?
Let's do it.
Okay, friends. This story is coming in hot and steamy. It's a hot, steamy pile. It is all about cow dung's key role in India's energy industry. That is right. We're talking biogas, okay? This is wild. So biogas production offers an alternative to expensive natural gas, reducing costs and reliance on fossil fuels. It also repurposes cow dung, a readily available resource in rural India, while mitigating pollution caused by burning agricultural waste. Get those pooper scoopers out, because you are going to be able to run your Teslas off of them. There's around 6,000 cows in the surrounding area. The city is a center of dairy production, but the dairy owners have been dumping waste straight into public sewers, causing river pollution. So this is like the part that maybe has got us confused here about it. But what are your thoughts here, Omar?
I love this. I haven't been to India in a while, but like when I did go, there were a lot of folks repurposing a ton of animal materials. And it was the kind of thing where I was like, this is how you are sustainable. We want everything to look like shiny buildings and everything's chrome, and that for us is like sustainability. This is sustainability. And listen, I'm glad we're talking about it here, because a week from now, some like Heather Graham type actor is going to go on Kimmel and be like, I'm doing this thing where I recycle like cow dung. And everyone's going to be like, that's amazing, you invented it. I'm glad that we're putting a flag in right now saying that, no, South Asians are doing this right now.
That's right. This is our thing. We are the ones. You can take yoga and chai lattes from us, from our cold dead hands, but you're not going to take repurposing cow dung and turning it into energy. God damn it.
No. How you feeling about this? How you feeling about poop punk?
Hey, look, I think it's brilliant. The Indian government is promoting biogas production to reduce natural gas imports. So it's led to the development of large-scale biogas plants. I think any way that you can figure out how to use waste and turn it into something positive, as long as it's not causing more harmful waste, I think that's the challenge, right, is figuring that piece out. We got to figure something out, because the population is not really decreasing over there in India.
No.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, I give this a thumbs up. I love this. I'm in. Do you mind if I change gears a little bit over to music?
Please.
Charli XCX just released the new album Brat. Do you know who Charli XCX is?
Yeah, let me ask this question. Who is Charli XCX? That's how old I am. I don't know their music. I'm so sorry. I'm that guy.
Charli XCX is a great pop musician, incredible musician, and we just learned recently that Charli XCX is actually half Desi.
Okay, so now I have to learn who this is. I gotta start listening to their music, basically.
She's done music with Mike Snow. She's done music with Troye Sivan, as well as many others. I actually saw Charli XCX in concert at a Mike Snow concert. You don't trust these? You don't trust?
No, I said I don't trust them. I just don't know any of this music. I'm so sorry. I love classic rock. That's me.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
She's like Fleetwood Mac in the sense that Fleetwood Mac also does music. Does that help?
Oh my God, that helps so much. Thank you for that comparison. I really needed that.
Charli grew up with an Indian mother and a white father, experiencing two distinct cultural worlds. She felt like she didn't fit into either her Indian or white cultural identity, and also faced a ton of jokes, like a lot of us have when she went to corner shops, because of limited media representation of South Asian characters. She was also bullied, of course, for a lot of her South Asian features, but she now embraces the features she was once teased for and celebrates her unique identity. This is rad. This is a huge win for us.
So is this like a recent discovery, or just like she's just recently gotten popular and now we're...
No, has she been
South Asian the whole time? Is that what...
Big update. No, she's been half South Asian the entire time on her mother's side, and her music's been blasting for near a little decade here, Sandeep.
A decade? Oh
yeah,
man.
So this is a good time for you to hop on. You can start with maybe the song 1999 if you so want.
Chat's pretty excited. I'm sure I've heard the songs, and I'm sure I haven't. Probably
they're played in cool, fun, popular places.
Cool
so maybe
places?
You haven't.
Never. That's possible. I haven't. Yeah. Wait, do they blast him at Chuck E. Cheese? I mean, listen, I'm in LA, so there are some like hip places to bring 5-year-olds with a lot of hipster parents and stuff. Yeah, like I told you the story, right, of the time that we went to this Elves Fair in Pasadena, and then like I was like, there's a bunch of bands playing on stage, and at one point I was like, wow, that's a really good Imagine Dragons cover. Like that someone's doing, and then another parent like tapped me on the shoulder and was like, that's actually the lead singer from Imagine Dragons. His kid goes here. And I was like, oh, I live in LA. Yep, that makes sense.
That's so wild.
Anyway, so do you have any like personal connection to Charli other than knowing her music and being able to slam me?
I won tickets to go see Mike Snow one time, and then I went, and Charli XCX just like hopped out of nowhere, and my brain melted. I was so excited.
Oh, nice.
I feel like she's a personal friend, not to stoke any parasocial.
So you were already into her music.
Yeah.
Are you then now? Did you know that she was part of South Asian before this, or is this like news to you?
Didn't. So I will be going to my cousin's wedding this summer, and it's gonna. If I have any influence on the playlist, it's gonna be all Charli XCX.
Amazing.
That's my goal.
Okay.
That's my goal. Chicago family, I'm coming for you.
Pretty cool. All right, now for our final story. How much did you spend to make that? Okay, so there is a movie that's coming out in India called Kalki, 2898 AD.
Okay.
And so this is one of the most expensive Indian films ever. Can you guess what its budget is? Without looking at the notes.
Okay, one of the most expensive Indian films, not looking at the notes.
Yeah.
Could you give me a sense of what the second most expensive Indian film was, or would that be cheating?
So yeah, I think I can help you there. So Triple R. So Triple R.
Okay, yeah.
Was up there, 65.8 million, which honestly seems low to me. It's amazing that they made that movie for.
They made that for $65.8 million.
That's incredible. All those tigers. Yeah. Can you imagine all those tiger trainers? I know it was all CG. Okay. So what do you think?
They still have to train them. I'm going to go $68 million.
Okay. Close. It's estimated at $72 million, making it one of the most expensive Indian films. Yeah. So they're targeting international audiences. They're featuring these top actors, and they're just like going for broke. It's a big sci-fi film. which is pretty exciting. It's a dystopian post-catastrophic world with scarce resources type movie, which I think is like not something that, and listen, I'm not a Bollywood buff at all by any stretch of the imagination, but feels like this is like a newish territory for them to be tackling.
It's like a Walking Dead sort of situation?
I guess, essentially, Kalki is the 10th incarnation of Vishnu.
Okay.
Who appears at the end of these cycles, the Kali Yuga, which is supposed to be the darkest period in history. And I think so that happens. Basically, there's one city that remains in this post-catastrophic world, and there's a wealthy class, the complex they're called, who lives in a massive mega city structure above that city. And those outside the city face these harsh realities, and they're trying to get into the city, kind of a thing. That's like the vibe of it.
Okay.
So it's an Elysium type thing, situation. Amitabh Bachchan is in it and is playing, this is crazy, a character by the name of Ashwatthama, which is Ash. My character in DesiQuest was Ashwatthama, Ash. Just me and Amitabh Bachchan, no big deal.
Do you think we could maybe get like a sponsorship as like we were like, viral marketing for this film?
I'm sure me and Amitabh can do like a collab on Instagram.
Yeah.
To co-promote. Like we can help them a little bit with our DesiQuest audience.
And you could call ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely perfect. I think, I'll DM him. I'll slide into his DMs.
But this is pretty sick. So this is the highest budget Indian cinema movie.
That's right.
I'll go see it.
Yeah. I hope it rocks. We're looking forward to that. And maybe that leads us right into our Chakra Check-in.
Today, we are going to be talking about blockbusters. You're looking for a place with air conditioning. Maybe it's late and you want to watch some midnight movies or something like that. You're checking out the films. You're checking out the cinema. And we are both involved in the filmmaking industry. And so we thought we would just chat with each other a little bit about it. Sandeep, let me do a little Chakra Check-in. How are you feeling about movies these days?
Good question. I feel a little generally sad, I guess, about the state of the film industry. I watched this like TikTok the other day where it was like one of those sketches where the same guy does both sides of the sketch. And he was like, hey, we're so excited about the movies this year in 2024. And he's, oh yeah, because everything's a sequel and a prequel. Oh, what are you talking about? And he just starts to list every single movie that came out and is going to come out this year, is slated to come out. And literally he's like sequel, prequel, sequel, remake, prequel, sequel, remake. It is getting a little bit tough to see something truly original out there and hard to get excited about making it out to theaters for me personally. And you're seeing it, I think, in the box office in general. Furiosa didn't do very well, but I think had a little bit of a comeback. Like Inside Out 2, I think did pretty well or is doing well.
Inside Out 2 is doing some numbers right now.
But I was reflecting on it because I was hanging out with my nephew he's 29.
Cool.
Which I consider very young. And so he's seen some films. He's a lawyer now, and we were just like talking about lawyer movies. And I was like, A Few Good Men's amazing. And he's, I haven't seen that. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to show you A Few Good Men. This is my favorite thing about having a nephew. We have a 15-year age gap. Like I watched Wayne's World with him again when he was like 12 or something, and he like freaking died laughing at every joke, which was it was fun to relive with him. And so same thing with A Few Good Men. And I was reflecting on, I believe it was #1 in the box office the week that it came out. And I'm like, there's no way they're making this movie right now. There's no way that movie's getting the big release. It may be getting made and put on a streamer, but I feel like, I don't know, it just made me wistful and nostalgic for a simpler time.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I feel very similarly in the grand scheme of things, where I am like, and I work on comic book stuff and everything, so I'm not here to be like down with all like popular media or anything like that in any way, but I really do miss that sense of you don't know what you're gonna get. And I think this has been the biggest thing for me, and especially coming from like being a huge old nerd, is I feel like there's been a shift where we come in with a preconceived notion of what something should be, and it's like arms crossed, impress us. And I think that Fury Road, Mad Max Fury Road, even though it is a sequel, that I think was maybe
prequel.
Yes, a prequel. When's it take
Yeah, it's
place in
supposed
the
to be.
timeline?
It's about. Oh no, sorry. You said Fury Road. Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking of Furiosa. Sorry.
That was one where it might be, and I might be off. There might be another one that's come out recently, and I'm forgetting, and I apologize. But it was the last. I think like everyone I talked to just went and went, I have no idea what this is going to be.
Yeah.
And then had a great time.
I went stoned and sat alone and sat in the front row and had the best time of my life.
What an absolute dream. Yeah. Yeah. Versus like, how's this going to connect to this? How's this going to do this? You're already thinking so much. And I feel like my favorite thing about going to the theater is you go in and it's like a pupa phase. Like you're this little caterpillar and you just become goo and you come out as a butterfly. And it's really nice to go in and just feel, like immediately feel things in the theater. And when it is a lot of connective prequels and sequels and all these franchise things and how is this going to set up Dom Toretto to do something else, you're very conscious of everything happening. And I feel like it's not as enjoyable. And as from a filmmaking standpoint, I just want to do some weird stuff. And I want to do like a Clerks. And I don't want people to be like, well, how many 39 Easter eggs in this movie kind of thing. You're like, no, just have a good time with these scumbags a little bit.
Right,
Go back to that gritty 90s sort of vibe.
So where are you at in your filmmaking journey? Because I know that was always the goal, right? Coming out here and directing.
Okay, gloves off. Let's talk a little bit. I've gotten to direct a couple of music videos. I directed some short films along with friend of the show, Kausar Mohammed. In one of them, they've gone down to festivals and stuff like that. I run a festival every year for 13 Days, 13 Shorts where people can submit their films. So I love filmmaking and I love doing shorts. For features, it's felt a little weird directing-wise because I feel like every time someone makes a movie that's really cool, except for Damien Chazelle, they're like, okay, great, now you're going to go make Street Fighter. And you're like, oh, but that person's they just did such a creative, cool horror film. Like, what's the next, like, what's the Jordan Peele kind of thing? What's their next weird little horror film?
The age of the auteur has gone by somewhat the wayside. Jordan Peele, I think, maybe one of the exceptions in a way
do you
nowadays, but
no, and I don't necessarily mean this in the auteur being like, I'm the best, I'm a god on set, everyone respect me. But in terms of like, getting to have a body of like creative work that you're like, oh, I just get to do this. Do you feel like encouraged that it's a lot of IPs in the mix? I personally feel discouraged because I feel like there's a black hole swirling that's going to pull anything you do into like, okay, just go now do this studio project.
Yeah, I don't know. That's, to me, it seems like a good problem to have in a weird way in terms of like my career. Like I would be like, I'd love to be insulted by being offered Mortal Kombat or something, or Thundercats. So I don't know. I think that doesn't necessarily discourage me specifically to see that that's what they go on to do, as opposed to just like the state of investment in films is. It seems really challenging to try to get to raise anything to make your movie. Is like more the scary part or the discouraging part is that you really do. It seems like maybe you have to go back to the days that the Coen brothers, how they made their first film, or Sam Raimi and how he made his first film, just going to like dentists and like people like that are like, hey, we still love movies, right? And you get like mission aligned on a thing that you really care about. Hey, this is a movie that means a lot to me and no one's making this thing. And I think it will mean a lot to you too, even though it might be more of a niche audience, whether it's like a South Asian film or something that like really speaks to you. And that's what Rekha and I are trying to put together, is this movie that speaks to us from a first generation point of view, or first or second generation, if we can ever agree on to what to call it, but sons and daughters of immigrants generation. And so it's like making something that feels like it's necessary for me to tell this story. I feel like the right person to help Rekha tell this story. If that makes sense. I'm like just extremely excited about trying to make that happen, and I feel a conviction about that film in a way that I haven't felt about something in a long time. I'm not looking down the road beyond just trying to get this film made. So to go back to your original question, I'm not thinking about, oh no, if this is successful, am I going to be forced to make a bunch of schlock after this or something? I'm just like, let's just tell this story and make it great, and then hopefully find the other folks out there that feel the core emotion that we're trying to describe in this film, which is like somewhat alienated about our culture, or like how to define our specific culture as first, second generation humans. So I think that is what I'm trying to focus on, and quieting the noise of the impossibility of the task to go out and raise that money to make the movie. Is it discouraging to see that the only things that really then, it seems like the only path forward from there is to make, you know, you go from Jojo Rabbit to making like a Thor film that everyone shits on you for? Like, I almost in some way am like, yeah, I would be so lucky, I think.
I think that really resonates with me. We'll quiet that noise, like all of that other discourse and discussion of who's selling what and what's Hasbro doing, and will this just be like, will your creative endeavors eventually just put you to make like a Transformers film, which financially great, but do you have stories to tell that whatever?
You're always gonna have to satisfy the capitalistic gods out here in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, whether it's doing branded content or we got sponsors on this show, or doing some asking our fans to, unless our fans are going to grow by the millions, which we hope, and then we don't have to answer to anybody else but them. That's amazing. That's the dream. That's the absolute dream, and why we're pursuing it. But I don't know that you can avoid it entirely. Yeah.
I think pushing that noise out is really great. And it's also, I do think that it is champagne problems to a certain extent, because it's like it's still revolutionary that like you and Rekha are making a movie that's representing this viewpoint. That's not like the cartoonish like 2000s like South Asian movie that's stereotypes and stuff, and this is what it's like to be with this family. It's a very beautiful, rooted, emotional, personal story.
And it's got like a little sci-fi kind of twist to it, which I love, and you can do it your way with film, or at least I still want to pursue doing it our way in that medium. Like that still is the like brass ring for me, or so I'm still gunning for it. Maybe that's crazy in a world where the film industry seems to be somewhat collapsing. But there is someone in chat to mention that indie films are having a real renaissance right now. That it's been gassed this year, as they put it. There's still great stuff that gets made. It's just, I think you have to be really clever about how to pursue. So where are you at? You got something cooking, or?
I have some TV stuff going. So I feel like a lot of my feature stuff has been pushed to the side a little bit to focus on that, especially because it is, like you said, we do need to like make money. But the thing is, I love television. I love like in a room when everyone is like respecting each other and throwing out ideas, and when everything falls apart at 4:00 and you're just like, we've got nothing on the board, and then an hour later when you're wrapping at 5, if you're in a room that wraps at 5, which is great, but if around 5:00 it's just, wait a second, I might have an idea that can wrap this all together, and it's, you've done the impossible, and every day you do the impossible and everyone's got each other's back. It's like my favorite parts of improv. And so I've really been enjoying that, and I'm excited to take that into film. But having heard what you're saying, you know what? After this, let me pull up the old Final Draft and start typing out something that I've got a Canon. I've got a Canon 60D. Just jump into a car, make a little mockumentary that's got some heart to it, cut it together, and then see if we can rent out a theater or something for a couple bucks in LA somewhere and just show it. Even just to have that theatrical fun experience, where something is like, okay, everyone, we're going to put our phones away for an hour and 20 minutes and watch this silly nonsense that we made and have some fun with it, and maybe shed some tears along the way if it's good.
Yeah, man, I think you spoke to a little bit about the collaborative nature. It may also just be timing for me. Pandemic, the strikes, having a really young kid, the first 5 years of his life, and I just terribly miss the on-set vibes, and got a little bit of it with DesiQuest, but it's been a while since I've run a show or shot something really with a larger crew, and that energy, there's nothing like that, where there's 50 people, 50 artists and buzzing entrepreneurs coming together to try to make this singular art piece. And then like your job as a director is, I think I see what the art piece wants to be. And so my sole job is to try to communicate that to the actual artists, whether they're actors, set dressers, hair and makeup, the lighting professionals, all along the way. This is what I think the art wants to be.
Yeah.
Can you help me with your insane talents to actually produce that? Or even help me put it into words, and so I can communicate it to everybody else too. And that like constant dialogue about every scene, every shot, but also the overarching story and keeping that all together is such a thrill for me.
Yeah.
It's such a joy. And so it's almost like I'm just chasing that even more than the like accolades or what comes after it. It's just, so it's both. It's two things. It's one, it is the story that I feel like hasn't been told as much as it needs to be. And then it's selfishly that experience of being in the man in the arena kind of vibe, like in the game. And that's, chasing that hit.
There is a feeling, if you've ever had the pleasure of getting to work on a fun and respectful production, there's a feeling when you film something and then you're like, all right, let's watch it back really quickly. And you all gather around Video Village or the tiny viewfinder, on the camcorder you're using, whatever level of production it is. And when you see that you all did...
Gather ye round my iPhone 14.
Yeah. When you watch it back and it's exactly what you all wanted, and whether that's like what you saw in your mind with quotation marks, or it's the feeling you were going for, or there was a perfect like flutter from the the costume department's like, God, that cape caught the air exactly as I was hoping it would, or lighting or hair is just like this is exactly the thing that's communicating this emotion. It's going to evoke this emotion in the audience. There is no feeling like that. How righteous it is. And for me as a director, I love when a spontaneous emotion is caught on camera and you just see like it's a little like twitch in the eye, or just someone just not taking a breath because they're holding it in and they don't want to say what's on their mind, something like that. There is no better feeling than that when you see it, when you're watching it back and everyone's around. And it's just this moment where you get to turn to everybody and say, hey everyone, you're very good. Everyone's very good. This is very good and you're all very good at this.
I'm going to bring up a little Few Good Men trivia right here.
Here we go.
Because, of course, I just watched it and looked it up recently. There's a moment in the movie where Tom Cruise's character it's like right before the big final speech from him and Jack Nicholson going toe-to-toe in the final scene. And he's talking about Jack Nicholson's character to his legal team. Yeah. And we got to get this guy, like he's up there with I sit 300 feet from these Cubans who want to kill me. And like he does a Jack Nicholson impression in that moment. And it's this like funny moment. Apparently that was not intended. Like it was a moment where he had just improvised, like the line was there, but he had decided to do it in Jack Nicholson's voice and didn't tell anybody he was going to do that. And the actual reactions from like Demi Moore and Kevin Pollak, his opposites, like you could see them like almost break, but also be surprised by it. And it's this like cute thing. And it's this real thing that happened in that moment that we get to live and relive, as I've seen that movie 15 times. Honestly, I love that film. And I love that shit. I love that shit. And I live for it. And I would rather get that than the craziest CG battle between in GoBots 4.
The bots finally go.
Direct. Yeah. The bots went, I believe is the name of that sequel. I don't know. I think to all the filmmakers out there still pushing, still making it happen. Thank God for you.
Yeah. It is that dream and protecting that spark, which I feel like is not just locked to set. I feel like it's that spark that everyone talks about when people are just like, this is like you were saying, this is a moment that affected you. It was an improvised moment, and it was actors and camera people and hair and lighting and sound, everyone kind of working together that had this spontaneous fun little moment, and it stuck with you so much. I feel like that's really important. So I would love to not just parrot what Sandeep just said, but also really underline it as deeply as I can. My dad did say one thing which I think really stuck with me, and this is, I'm very much like money stuff. That's not a language I speak. I don't think that value is tied to wealth. But my dad did say something which, if you were to say, take the money out of it and just say people buy tickets, and tickets are attention, and tickets are people leaving their house to go do something.
Right.
He one time said there is no other industry where people make $1 billion on a Friday night regularly throughout the year. And that does put in perspective. I know we're talking about smaller projects and stuff, but if we're to say attention, there's no other industry, maybe games, I would say, in terms of purchasing and downloads. Like
games now, for sure.
Yeah, games now, for
really
sure.
well. But games, I know, I do love that concept. That certainly was definitely true when we were maybe 15-ish, 20 years ago, for sure. The one big blockbuster movie I got to visit was the second Star Trek of the the Chris Pine universe.
Wrath of Khan. Yeah.
And it was downtown LA around Grand Street, that whole area, and they just took this 5x10 block grid and turned it into a tiny town. And it was an absolute working village with its own transpo stations throughout, where first team was shooting here, second team shooting here. You can go get Crafty over here. This is where whatever the green room is, blah, blah, blah. But it was like it just was a buzzing city within the city. Shoot about 30 seconds of footage for a day.
Right.
It was just incredible to witness how many people have to come together to create these great cinematic moments. So
if I may wrap it up, if I may conclude for myself personally, I started at a place at the top. And also, I would like to clarify, I do know that it's Star Trek in Darkness, but it is Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
If I may, I started off being like, I'm a little discouraged, I'm a little this. In this conversation, and I've said it a couple times, I am encouraged, and I would like to share that encouraged feeling, that optimism with everyone. Go out there and make collaborative stories with people. We play a lot of D&D together. We do a lot of this kind of stuff. There's also like multiplayer games and everything. And I know, and tell stories together in whatever format and form you can. And I think that spontaneous collaborative art construction and sharing, that immediate sense of sharing, is so important. And I am coming away from this conversation saying, I don't want to let people win by saying that's not what's important. That it's the IP or this thing that's this unrelated to all the humans working on it together. That, like, to me, this conversation has reminded me how important it is to just grab a camera, go out into the woods with a couple friends, and be like, let's just make up a monster. And let's just do this because it's fun and it feels good and we like it. And this is a good time. I'm digging this conversation.
All right, you heard it here. Omar is dedicating himself to making a movie.
Go bots in the forest.
Let's go. Go bots in the forest. Awesome. All right. I think that's a great place to land the Chakra Check-in. So let's do a quick Auntie versus Auntie watch 2024. So here we are. This is our segment where we track the 2024 U.S. presidential election, but in our own way. Because here's what we care about. We want to see how close we are to achieving a presidential race between Democratic Auntie Kamala Harris and Republican Auntie Nikki Haley. Because, reminder, just like Charli XCX.
You're close.
How many is it?
Correct.
Okay, sorry. Now I'm a true uncle. Anyway. Okay, they're both part Indian, so hence they are technically really aunties. So we got the first presidential debate of 2024 coming up this week. That's, I think, we'll see what happens there. How are you feeling? Are you excited? Are you gonna watch? Are you gonna be glued to your TV? Are you gonna watch live, or are you gonna just try to catch clips afterwards? What's your move here?
I'll watch live. Watch live. How about you?
You excited? Do you have any drinking games? What?
I mean, I don't want to make any jokes on the internet about the drinking game that I play for the debate, but it would help with the stress levels of watching the debate. I'll say that much.
Gosh, I'm very anxious about it. I do feel like we'll have a better update number for maybe post that debate if they both do as poorly as the other side guarantees that they will do, if that makes sense.
There's a chance that the debate will go so badly that America will say, you know what, ABCD is correct. We should just switch over to Auntie versus Auntie Watch 2024.
There's a world.
Yeah.
There's a world in which. So in Biden's camp, they're saying the president will have less time for debate prep than 4 years ago, given his day job,
Yeah.
being president. So prep will largely be confined to immediately prior. And then in Trump's camp, this is fun. He is not planning to hold a formal debate practice.
Yes.
Instead, he has reportedly held a series of, quote, policy discussions to refresh himself on the issues. So they're going to just wing it.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. I don't know.
Let me ask you a quick question. Donald Trump is known for his clever nicknames of people that he puts a lot of time and effort into.
Sliding Biden. I don't know. What's the new one? Oh, sorry. What?
Jake
What's your
Tapper will be one of the moderators on the debate. What do you think Trump's nickname for Jake Tapper is?
Oh, Joke Tapper, or
that's pretty good.
Sometimes he does like weird like A to C ones where he's like Tapper Gore. It's Tipper Gore. And you're just like, wait, what? Is that
yeah.
I don't know. What is it?
Tapper Canoe too.
For hardly even know her.
Yeah, that's really good.
That feels like it would be his. Yeah.
How about from Jake Tapper to Fake Tapper? How you feeling about that?
Oh, I feel stupid that I didn't think of that. That's obvious. Oh God. So dumb. So dumb. Because fake news. Yeah.
Vice President Kamala Harris has accepted CBS News' invitation to debate Trump's vice presidential pick. So
I mean, is there a world in which it's still is Nikki Haley and her recent campaign to grovel to Trump working out in her favor? I personally haven't seen any updates. If anyone has anything to the contrary, let me know. I've heard some other names floated that weren't Nikki Haley's. Do you think Nikki Haley going up against Kamala Harris puts our Auntie versus Auntie watch? And this is all hypothetical. We haven't given a number yet. But would that raise our numbers or would that lower them? Yeah, I think if Nikki gets chosen as the vice president, yeah, for sure that raises our numbers.
Our numbers are up for Auntie versus Auntie.
So maybe no change right now?
No, I think unchanged currently. And
because it was to equal the number of the indictments. Remember?
Yes, it was the number of indictments. We matched that. It was a happy happenstance. The only update we have for all of you is that the two presidential candidates are not putting that much time into their debate. So
that's right.
That's our update.
So should we go up 1%? 35?
Yeah, 35.
35%.
Let's 100%
there we
go
go.
35.
All right. Auntie versus Auntie watch is now complete. 35%. All right. Shall we jump into our ABCD game?
I think we should.
All right. The game this week is a
Delvin.
Strangelove quiz Odyssey, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Kubrick trivia.
Do you know a lot of Kubrick stuff?
Am I a fan of Stan's work? Oh, sorry, we're on a first name basis.
Wow.
Me and Stan Kubrick.
Getting my ass kicked. Okay.
Yeah. We'll see. I went to the LACMA exhibit 17 years ago.
Hey, I went to that too.
Okay. So we might be on equal footing.
Okay. All right. It was cool to see the notes.
Yeah.
Like his notes written on like Full Metal Jacket scripts and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, and he's changing like crossing out dialogue and shit. And you're just like, that's cool.
They got upset when I wrote my notes down on that script. I got kicked out.
Yeah. Like, I disagree, Stan. This would have been a better line. Love, Omar. Okay.
All right, you're familiar with how this sort of thing works. We're going to have a number of trivia questions for you to answer, and if you get it correct, you get a point. Whoever has the most points when we're done wins and becomes the host next episode.
Great.
The loser has to give a 1-minute Academy Award concession speech.
An Academy concession speech.
Yeah. Great.
All right, first up, prior to directing his iconic films, Kubrick began work as a photographer in 1945 at age 17.
Yeah.
Taking photos of New Yorkers and their everyday life. What magazine did he work for? Your options are 1, Look,
Okay.
2, Body and Soul, 3, Future Life, or 4, Hound and Horn.
I'm going to go with 1, Look.
I think it's Look, too.
We got 2
Okay, I'll change.
correct answers.
Oh. I think I fucking remember that from the exhibit.
I think I remember from the exhibit, too.
All right, let's go. Bring it on. Maybe I know more Kubrick.
This is when two
than I
people
thought.
trained exactly the same have to fight, and they're just doing the same chop. to each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
All right, next up, number 2. Kubrick's directorial debut was an anti-war film
Yeah.
with a production crew of only 15 individuals.
Yeah.
Although the film is not about a particular conflict, it was made during the Korean War. Name the movie.
Okay.
Your options are 1, All Quiet on the Western Front.
Okay.
2, The Killing. 3, Fear and Desire. Or 4, Johnny Got His Gun.
I should
feel like
know
he-
this.
I feel like The Killing is in there, but I think that was...
All Quiet was him? Is that him? Wasn't that a new movie? Or is that a remake? Oh, God.
there was a new one with that title, I will say.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to say
Killing-
3. I'm going to say number 3.
What was number
Oh, we're
3?
going with 3, Fear and Desire.
I think Fear and Desire.
What was 2?
2 is The
Killing.
Killing.
God damn, it might be The Killing,
You
though.
can also just name the movie, and I'll fill in the number for you. The important thing is getting the movie right.
What was what was the fourth one?
4 is Johnny Got His Gun.
I'll go with The Killing. I'll go with Omar's first instinct, so if I'm right, it'll hurt his feelings.
God damn it.
Omar, you are correct. It is Fear and Desire.
Dang it.
Oh!
Way to throw me off.
You know where
That
I
was a
remember that
tactic,
from,
wasn't
Sandeep?
What?
The Lockma Museum exhibit
damn
on
it.
Stanley Kubrick.
I skipped that part. I had to go to the bathroom.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah. Yep. I was like, not this part of the exhibit. I got to go pee. All right. What's next?
All right, number 3 is Kubrick was hired by Paramount Pictures to help direct One-Eyed Jacks. However, he was fired by what main director of the film who also happened to be one of the world's most famous actors? Is
Oh my
it
God.
1, Al Pacino, 2, James Dean, 3, Robert Duvall, or 4, Marlon Brando?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna go Marlon Brando.
I'm going Robert Duvall.
Sandeep, you are correct. It is Marlon Brando.
Oh
go.
my
Let's
God.
go.
Although Marlon Brando directed just one film, it was originally intended to be a Stanley Kubrick production, with Sam
Wow.
Peckinpah writing the screenplay.
Sam
Wow.
Peckinpah wrote it. It's a
I
good
just
script.
went for an
It-
older
yeah, intended to
actor.
be, yeah.
I was like an older actor
Yeah,
from that time period.
Mhm.
Couldn't be James Dean because I feel like he died too young.
he did. He did.
That's it. That was my
Yeah,
whole
Marlon
logic. I didn't know
Brando
anything.
dismissed both Kubrick and Peckinpah in
Okay.
pre-production. So neither of them actually were on there. It's just Marlon.
Oh.
Wow.
That explains it. Not. Did you know that Marlon Brando had the lines from Superman like on the baby when he's like lifting Kal-El in the sky, like baby Kal-El, and he's like,
He had,
"Oh,
like,
with
written
you,"
the
but he just
lines?
wrote the lines.
On the baby.
I think it was like on
its
the
skin?
cradle or something, but like the lines were near the baby, so he could look at the baby and just say the lines.
Amazing. Why not?
All right, except for
Any
The
day of
Shining,
week, I'll
all
write
of-
my lines on my baby. Sorry, go ahead.
All of Kubrick's films were nominated for an Oscar. However,
Oh,
only
wow.
2001, A Space Odyssey, won an Academy Award.
Yeah.
Okay.
What award did he win?
Oh.
Your options are 1, Best Picture,
God.
2, Best Visual Effects, 3, Best Director, and 4, Best Adapted Screenplay.
I want to say, okay. Oh, wow.
This is tough, Delvin.
I'm going to go with best visual effects.
Best Visual
Wait,
Effects for Sandeep.
I feel like they
Omar, where are
didn't
you at?
have that back then. No, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to go
All right,
with
backing away.
Best animated. Best animated feature.
best animated short. Fuck. I'm going to go with, what are you going to go with?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go adapted screenplay.
Interesting. I'll go director. Though I feel like he didn't win best director. I'm going to go director.
No,
I'm sorry,
was it best picture?
was, in fact,
It was visual effects.
Best Visual Effects.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm so
I
sorry.
I overthought it.
All right, this is the last movie we got for you, unless somehow you manage to tie it up and we have to go to overtime.
Lord of the Rings. What's
Wait,
Lord
what
of
is
the
it right
Rings that do
now? Is
this?
it 2-2?
2-2,
Okay.
as he would want it.
Okay.
If you can break it right now, it's game over, and if you can't break it, we have to go to overtime, and
Okay.
you don't want to do that. These only get
No.
worse if you go to overtime.
Right.
Kubrick declined
Yeah.
an invitation from what famed band to direct a cinematic version of Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings novels, in which the band would also appear?
I absolutely know this.
Shit. This seems like you
Is
know
it
this.
1, The Doors, 2, The Beatles, 3, The Who, or 4, The Rolling Stones?
Wait, I might not know this. I thought it was someone else. I thought it was Led Zeppelin.
Is that your final answer, Omar?
Did I? No, hold on, no, because that wasn't one of the options.
The Who?
This
the
sounds like
Beatles,
something the Beatles
The
would do.
Doors. And what was the last one?
The Rolling Stones.
The Stones. Who the fuck? Which one of these
Are the Rolling
bands would have
Stones?
had the rights to?
This I thought you'd have this in the bag. It's not a Charli XCX question, Sandeep.
I know it's about old things.
I'm going
not
Beatles.
that old. That's the problem.
I'm going
You're gonna go
Beatles.
I don't know why, but for some reason I want to go The Who. So I'm gonna.
If you get this right, I'll be
think I'm
so
wrong, though.
upset.
Okay, so it's The Who for Sandeep
Versus
and the
the
Beatles
Beatles.
for Omar. Final answers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
This is
for
locked in.
everything.
I'm locked in.
Yeah, let's just go.
The correct answer is The Beatles. They attempted to
my
acquire the film rights in the
God!
1960s because they all loved the books as a kid and they wanted Stanley Kubrick to direct. They planned to all star in the film.
Shit.
They
Listen.
were all
Can
going
you
to
imagine
star as
having a Paul
Frodo.
McCartney Frodo or something like that?
Oh my gosh.
We're going
so,
to get
yeah, would
this
they be?
ring back to Mordor.
All right, so let's just really quickly cast it.
Yeah.
All right, so Paul's not Frodo. I feel like John's Frodo, right? Is John Frodo?
Oh, I would put John as Legolas. Personally.
John's Legolas. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see that actually.
Yeah.
Or is Gandalf?
Gandalf would also be good. Okay, I change it. John is
Ringo's,
Gandalf.
Ringo's Sam. Right?
Ringo's a
definitely
good
Sam.
Samwise. Yeah.
I think Ringo's Sam.
I was going to put Ringo as
Lovable.
Sauron.
That would be
Shows
the
up bright
best.
and early, just puts in his time, no
Sauron, yeah,
drama.
yeah.
I see you.
Yeah.
Okay. Who? Yeah.
Okay, so George. Who's George? George is Arwen.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. Absolutely.
I think George is Arwen makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense to me.
And who are we missing? Who have we not cast yet?
We didn't say who Paul would be. I just said not Frodo, but maybe
An
he is Frodo.
Ent.
Maybe it's
And
an Ent. Yeah, he's Treebeard.
Yes.
No, that's not. Doesn't feel like Treebeard to me. He's
No.
like he's more chipper and he's Tom Bombadil. He's on
Yes.
the cutting room floor.
Absolutely.
He never makes the movie.
Absolutely.
All right, I just want to shout out to the winner of this Academy Award for Best Trivia Guy. I've been working at this my whole life. I went to the LACMA some 19 years ago, and I thought I knew it all. I thought I studied as much as I could, and even my best wasn't good enough. Yeah, I'd like to thank fucking nobody for my failure. I'd like to not thank my parents. I'd like to thank my parents for, half-assing it and blowing it for me. I'd like to, who else do people often thank? And my agents, fuck you. I didn't win. You're fired, actually. This is the moment you're finding out you're fired. My manager, fired. To my lovely wife, what are you even doing with a loser like me? I think we should get a divorce, and I frankly think it's in your best interest. Like, why would you want to be with someone who lost an Academy Award? Yeah, Omar, I hope you burn in hell. Thank you so much. You're welcome. You're welcome.
After
I
this
did it.
commercial break.
That would be great, though, if they did do, like, just pick one of the losers to also have to give a speech.
There was
Just
I forget
whoever
he's
looks
so
the most
weird.
put back when they're showing the shots of everybody in the audience when it gets picked.
Yeah.
Like whoever doesn't appear to be actually really celebrating the
Right.
winner. Yeah, no.
Like the
sorry.
one-
There was an award show where it was Best Alien, and then it was a surprise win by French Stewart for Third Rock from the Sun that upsetted the category because French Stewart was not nominated and just was a surprise win. And his acceptance speech was, yeah, get your butt-shaped heads out of here, as he yelled at the aliens from Mars Attacks as they left the auditorium. And I remember that as a kid, and I went, this
Wow.
is television. This is art.
This is art. That's insane. That's the game. Let's move on to Desi of the Week. All right, our Desi of the Week is Saurabh, Netravalkar, and the U.S. men's cricket team for upsetting Pakistan and pushing India in their group stage match. This is crazy, dude.
Yes.
This is crazy.
Yes.
They were, however, unfortunately eliminated from the 2024 T20 World Cup after a 10-wicket loss to England in their final Super 8 match. But, dude, I don't know if you caught any of the games. I was actually back home, and I watched a couple of the games with my parents. It was so fun.
Yes.
And the fact that the U.S. team beat Pakistan is crazy. It's crazy.
Bonkers. They stunned global powerhouse Pakistan in the T20 Cricket World Cup, beating them thanks to winning the super over tiebreaker. Despite the disappointing end, of course, for the team in the tournament, it was historic because the USA qualified for the Super 8 stage in their first ever T20 World Cup appearance, and the team is already qualified for the T20 World Cup 2026 in India and Sri Lanka due to their performance in this tournament. So, the USA.
That's right. This is cool. About Saurabh specifically, he's born in Mumbai. He represented India in the 2010 Under-19 World Cup, showcasing his talent in the international stage. And then he came over to Cornell University to focus on academia, as our people do. But he rekindles his passion for cricket while in the U.S., he started playing again out here. And he was able to represent the U.S. team. So he was trained technically in India. Okay, he can't take full credit. Pretty cool.
This is an emotional match because he's returning to India, his birth country, on the international stage. This is some of the best stuff that you can cook up only in sports. It's very exciting. And despite the loss, his bowling significantly impacted the game and dismissed two of India's top batsmen, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma.
Crazy.
It's bonkers. This is
just to let you know,
such an upset.
That's a part-timer who comes back to strike out Stanton and Judge or something. Like, it's like a crazy thing. These are huge names.
Like a level 2 wizard going up against Strahd.
Yeah, for our nerds out. Yeah, sorry. Thank you for making it more relatable. I apologize. Netravalkar's journey resonated with many folks on social media. One cricket fan tweeted after the USA-India match, "The Indian uncles were right this whole time. First get masters in US and become engineer beta, and then you play cricket." That's exactly what Saurabh did. So it's an inspiration for aspiring athletes and a testament to the global nature of this sport now coming to the US, and it's pretty cool. Pretty exciting.
And we have a runner-up Desi of the week to celebrate as well, which is Sheena Malwani, who recently became the first Desi American to sing the national anthem at the NBA Finals.
Yes.
Sheena Malwani sang the national anthem at Game 2 of the NBA Finals between the Dallas Mavericks and Boston Celtics.
Celtics won. Sorry. Go ahead.
I did take that bullet from you, and I knew that you would hop in
That's
between.
Fine. I'm very happy about this, and it's all because of her. It's all because of Sheena setting the stage emotionally for my Celtics, singing to Jaylen Brown's. Yeah.
I believe this was the second time that she sung for the Boston Celtics. And if you want to check out her stuff, she's also got a huge following on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, where she also said a huge thank you to everyone for the community support. Yeah. So this is
Suck it, Charli XCX.
We're not doing that. Charli XCX defends Taylor Swift in the concert, and now we're going to have Sheena Malwani defending Charli XCX from you.
All right, that is the show, my friends. As always, our one big ask is just find one person in your life that you think that would love the show and share it with them. That's it. Don't do anything. I don't even care if you comment or any of the other stuff. Just one big share would be to one person would be awesome.
You know who I would love to have on a future episode of the podcast, Sandeep?
Oh, Sheena Malwani?
Yes, actually, that is for sure correct. And in addition, folks who watch the show. And you can do that by sending a question over to us that you want us to answer, and we'll do that. We'll answer it poorly, but we will answer it on the show. You can write in or even send an audio file of the question to our email, which is abcdpodcastshow@gmail.com. And we will go ahead and hop in that and see what we can do. It could be a cultural question. It could just be a lifestyle question. It could be completely unrelated. We will answer it to the best of our ability, which won't be much.
But look at that fancy graphic that Delvin put on there. Oh my
Look
gosh,
at
we're moving up in
this.
the world. We're moving up in the world because of our Patreons and listeners. And as always, we got to shout out our Patreons who are at that level. So
Yes.
what do we got, Delvin? What did we get from chat as our genre to shout out our Patreon listeners?
Your genre is in the style of Aragorn giving his speech at the Black Gate, the old Courage of Men Fails speech, except you're reading the names.
Okay. This is in the third one, right? This is the Gates of Mordor speech.
Yeah, this is at the Black Gate. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the third one.
Okay. All right. The day may come when the courage of Patreon will fail, but it's not today. Not today, thanks to Joshua Orion, Tal BM Carlo, Benjamin Lowe.
Miranda Hollander stood by me, shoulder to shoulder, as I fought alongside Michael Long, and we yelled into the breeze with Raylan Fox about how Selena B would destroy the Orc army.
Nervous Rex, Sarah H., and Varun and Moldy Vort. Mostly what we consider to be useless hobbits, but they came through in the end.
Yes, the necromancer came for all of us, including Philip Dyson and Kathleen Schlegel. But I remember when Ducati rose up with that sword forged in the darkness and said to Reverend Catino, "We will honor Brandon Pace."
That's right. Monroe Maxwell, when he rode that Oliphant with the half corpses of Jeremy Schwartz, 8-Bit D, Chris Sims, and Dan Wally, there was never a more rousing moment when he brought them to safety.
Yes, and Jeremy O'Brien, Astra, and Brendan Bradley, we sing songs about those who were no longer with us. They went to another field. They just went to the other one on the other side.
got-
but
they
we
got
sing
jobs.
songs about them, yes.
They got really good jobs. And to our gods, those wizards who wear different colors, robes, right? That's their thing. Mark Tuckle, the fuchsia. Hannah Lehman, the sort of light peach. James Gaffney, the orangutan brown. Scribbles and Flapjacks.
Yes.
Nose hair black. And Vaden, like a moldy toad light green. All you wizards. Couldn't do without you.
Rouse the forces.
Wow.
Now I want to do a sketch about the 48th wizards, 48th through like 60th wizards who have the weird like Home Depot colors.
Yeah, just not. They weren't the first ones to show up on the day where they're handing out cloaks.
No. Sorry, all we got left is Mountain Mist. I don't even know. This is a greenish gray. All right. Anyway, that's our show.
Mm-hmm.
We did it.
Yes. The show's produced and edited by Anand Shah. The show's technical director and sound designer is Devin Neville. The show's executive producers are Sandeep Parikh and Anand Shah. This has been an EffinFunny production.
On behalf of our co-host Omar Najam, I've been your host, Sandeep Parikh. May your chakras be aligned and smothered in chutney. We'll see you next time, friends.